When I write music, I always try to think of what's the melody that's going to capture somebody. Whether it's simple or not, to me it doesn't matter as long as it moves somebody. And I'm always trying to make music that lifts somebody's spirits.
I feel like it's really a great thing when you can hear a musician play and you know that they're playing from their heart. You can really feel what they're feeling when they play. And I feel like the Josh Myers Band music is that kind of music.
It's awesome. Like, you get to do a bunch of stuff that you can't do in any, like, most styles of music because it's instrumental, but they have meanings. The songs have meanings.
Really, a lot of my influences that have shaped my guitar playing haven't really been until the past 10 years.
My influences: Muse, Ben Folds 5.
I listen to a lot of Joe Satriani and his drummer Jeff Cambatelli,
Eric Johnson,
John Mayer,
Jaco Pastorius,
Led Zeppelin,
Lincoln Brewster,
Steve Jordan,
Joe Bonamassa is a big one,
John Bonham, and
Damian Rice.
There's too many to name.
I feel like our stuff is kind of more, well, it's more groovy, like you can kind of dance to every song.
Take It Back the Farm. Actually, we have some really good friends of ours that were going through a really hard time. They had bought this farm. The people selling it were con artists, and they kept their money of their down payment, sold all the farm equipment, and then tried to take them to court to say that they didn't own the farm. And they were going through this situation where they were like thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, and they were fighting for this farm. And I was sitting at home one night, and this little riff came to me, and I don't know, that's like country on crack, on steroids or something. It just has something about it, it has an attitude about it, and it just made me think of this wild-eyed, crazy farmer who had his whole family at his farm, and the crooked banker decided he was going to come take his farm away, and this guy wasn't going to let him do it. And you know, there's always the phrase, oh, well, they sold the farm or whatever. And to me, this was something, take it back the farm. Zachary's song was written about Zachary Myers, who died on September 11th, 2001. When my wife was pregnant, there were possibly going to be complications. And they tried to get us to abort him and all this stuff. And to me, that's like saying, well, let's not even give anybody a chance to win. Let's just quit. We're not quitters. So we went along the whole ride, and he shouldn't have lived past 5-6 months in the womb. But we got to the 8th, 9th month, and we'd go to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, we can't believe this, he's fully grown. And so, we really thought, oh, we're on to something. And my wife had a C-section. We had him, and we were literally watching the World Trade Centers being hit while we were in the operating room. And I remember, we had him, and we could hear him cry and everything. We got back to the room, and they took him away, and they were working on him. He had problems. He was basically born with no bladder, which we didn't know at the time, but then his lungs were underdeveloped, and he had part of one kidney. And so, we're just sitting in this hospital room waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're trying to believe for the best, but it's getting really hard, and there's nothing positive anywhere going on. It's just chaos. They called. I picked up the phone, and I remember the lady on the other end asked me if we wanted them to bring him there to die or if we wanted him to die there. So that was a really hard decision to make, probably the hardest decision I've ever made. So they kept him going on respirating equipment until they could get him to us, and that was probably a good 10 hours later. And they brought him in the room, and they asked if we wanted him unhooked, and I said, yeah, don't bring him in here on a bunch of machines, because that's not living. That was a really rough day. The cool thing about the live show is a lot of it is just spur of the moment, free improv. The songs have structure, but man, there's some tags on the end of the songs that we don't know what we're gonna do. We're just playing from our heart. Music is music, and it moves everybody, no matter what they believe. Our hope is that it brings people joy.